What's going on, everyone? Today's day 18 of the 90-day my own challenge. This is the kind of the sequel of the $500,000 challenge. I realize I haven't even mentioned the $500,000 challenge in probably at least a week. To reiterate, it was a 30-day $500,000 challenge where we go out and seek to raise money from private investors to help fund our house flipping business. To kind of conclude how it went, it was a huge success with verbal commitments over the $500,000 mark and getting more money every single day from those investors who made those verbal commitments. I know there's a big difference between a verbal commitment and actually, investing the money, but at the same time, I think one thing about raising money and buying houses, buying apartments, whatever it may be, is your follow-up. So being really intentional about your follow-up as well, not just like a half-hearted text or half-hearted call, but really like putting intention behind what you're doing, especially when it's with investors and or sellers. Today was an awesome day, probably one of the best days I've had in a few months. And it's not to say that the other days were bad necessarily, because they certainly weren't. I mean, I think I'm extremely blessed to get to do every day what I do. Like, it doesn't feel like a job. I don't even really consider it work. It's more of honestly just goofing off with some friends every day. And and the benefit is it makes money too. So that's really awesome. But today was awesome, just because everything, like, when you're kind of like on a rhythm and everyone's clicking and everyone's like focused in the same direction and on the same goal. I've really felt that today. It's like everything we've been touching recently has just been turning to gold. And when you've got that season behind you, it just makes you want to work nonstop and, makes for some really late nights. But again, that it doesn't feel like work when you're working with people that you like. And I think that's extremely important, that some people just kind of skip over and think that you don't have to, work with people that you like. But I mean, they're kind of your family at the end of the day. Like, if you don't enjoy the people you work with, like, the next 2 points are like, it doesn't really create that competitive environment that you really need to like get to the next level. Like, every single day when I go in the office, like, I want to bring more value than Sam and Ryan combined, which is, I think, maybe impossible to do. But that's like the kind of the environment that we have, is we're all trying to outdo each other with what we can bring to the partnership that the other two can't, or the other two are working on that we're able to bring first. So when you have that with people you like, you're in your season of just like really excelling, and you kind of get this multiple effect. I've mentioned several times before that, like, a good partnership, like, one person's productivity, like, plus another person's doesn't equal 200%. It equals like 400%. Well, like today or this week, I think we've been hitting like, three of us, so like 900 or 1200 or 1500, whatever it is, but it's just been off the charts. So again, like, maybe do an audit of the people you work with. If you really don't like them, I've had jobs where I really did not like the people that I work with, not because they were bad people, just we didn't really click. I didn't have the same long-term goals, or maybe just not enough things in common. But definitely do an audit. If you're having trouble getting to the office, that could be like a major demotivator, as it was for me. And there is better options out there. I know that's really easy to sit around and think that work is always going to be like this, but that's not true at all. Like, there are people who want the same thing that you want and are willing to work crazy hours to get it. It's just all about like going to the meetups and finding that type of person. So thanks everybody for watching. Today was day 18, and I'll be back tomorrow with day 19.